Good afternoon, everyone. Happy Monday. Hope you guys had a great weekend. As you could see, we got a new t-shirt here. This channel is becoming more and more official. We got the official Policy Police t-shirt. Now, let's get into this video. So, Donald Trump appointed Amy Coney Barrett as the next Supreme Court Justice, and the Democrats have already began an all-out smear campaign against Amy Coney Barrett. They've been criticizing her for being a devout Catholic. In addition to that, I think the bigger story is some people on the left are criticizing her for adopting two Haitian children. Amy Coney Barrett is a mother of 7 kids. She has 5 biological children, and she has 2 adopted black Haitian children. And some Democrats, some people on the left, have criticized her for adopting 2 Haitian children, particularly Ibram Kendi, who's one of the major thought leaders on the left. He's the genius who wrote the book, How to Be an Anti-Racist, where he will tell you the way that you fight past discrimination is with current discrimination. In other words, you should punish people of today for the crimes of their ancestors. That's the wonderful thought leader that is guiding the Democrats. And this is what he said about Amy Coney Barrett's 2 adopted Haitian kids. Some white colonizers adopted black children. They civilized these savage children in the superior ways of white people, while using them as props in their lifelong pictures of denial, while cutting the biological parents of these children out of the picture of humanity. So first he accuses her of cutting the biological parents out of the picture, which is pretty crazy, as if she was just taking these Haitian children from their loving, caring parents and just decided to just kidnap them and steal them away from their loving, caring parents in Haiti. And she couldn't actually find any children that were up for adoption. That's the first accusation, which is pretty crazy that a woman who is part of the political elite, she was already a federal judge, already had 5 kids, wanted more kids, was willing to adopt children from a third world country. And apparently, she can't find any kids that are up for adoption in a third world country. Instead, she has to cut her biological parents out of the picture. This is what this crazy lunatic, Ibram Kendi, is saying. And then, he accuses Amy Coney Barrett as using these children as props. She's had these children, one since 2005, the other since 2010. One for 15 years, another for 10 years. It's not like she just grabbed some black children for a photo op really quick right after Donald Trump appointed her to be the next Supreme Court Justice, so that way they could take a nice culturally sensitive picture when Donald Trump appointed her as Supreme Court Justice. So when she gives a speech, she'll have 2 black children right there front and center for the photo op. That's not what happened at all. She's had these children, one for 10 years, another for 15 years. So the idea that she's somehow using these children as props is just another crazy idea that the left has come up with, because they are desperate, because they know that they don't really have any legitimate smears against this woman. She was already a federal judge. She has already been vetted tremendously. They can't find any dirt on her. That's why they're coming up with this kind of BS. You would think this would be a huge plus. I mean, what woman who already has 5 children then goes on to adopt 2 other children from a third world country? She had no obligation to do this. She could obviously have kids on her own. She could have had 2 more biological children if she wanted to, but instead she adopts 2 children. It basically rescues them from poverty, from growing up in a third world country. And one of the kids, her daughter, was expected to never be able to walk or speak. So she adopted this black Haitian girl under the premise with the expectation that she would basically be an invalid. And she still adopted her. She was willing to take on that responsibility. It just shows you how kind-hearted, how strong, how compassionate, how caring this woman is. And Ibram Kendi, this racist, has the audacity to criticize her for adopting these children. It's absolutely disgusting. And this is a really big deal for the Democrats, because if she does get confirmed, and right now it looks like that's exactly what will happen, because all of the Republicans in the Senate, for the most part, enough of them, there's 53 Republicans in the Senate, they already have enough Republicans that have said they will confirm the Supreme Court justice. Even Mitt Romney, that was the big questionable one. He's the one who voted for impeachment against Donald Trump. And he said that he would confirm Amy Coney Barrett. So the Democrats at this point have no legal authority to stop her from being the next Supreme Court justice. And come November 3rd, we can expect chaos. Because the Democrats have already told us, Hillary Clinton's already told us that Joe Biden should not concede under any circumstances. And we have many blue states, many Democratic states that have said they will accept mail-in ballots even weeks after the election occurs. So what can we expect? We can expect a contested election. Donald Trump's likely to win on election day. His voters will actually go and vote in person. And then weeks afterward, once you get these giant shipments of mail-in ballots for Joe Biden's going to come stumbling down a few weeks later and say, well, he won the election. And in a contested election, who decides who won? The Supreme Court. And that's why this nomination is so important. Because right now, after Ruth Bader Ginsburg died, you have 8 Supreme Court justices. So if there is an even split, if the election is contested, and 4 people rule in favor of Biden, 4 people rule in favor of Trump, Amy Coney Barrett will cast the deciding vote. That's my video. Hope you like it. Please leave your thoughts in the comments below. Subscribe, and I will see you all next time.